Good morning. We said this is back in another one. Today we're going to look at polygon. Polygon, some interior angle in a polygon, an exterior angle, and also cover of regular polygon. The difference between regular polygon and irregular polygon. So remember that a polygon is defined as the plane figures that meets the following condition. There are two conditions that to be met to be a polygon. The first condition that it is formed by three or more segments called side, so that no two sides with the common endpoint are collinear. So let's go over the first condition. So it is formed that three or more segments called side, such that no two sides with the common endpoint are collinear. The second condition to be a polygon that each side intersect exactly two other sides, one at each endpoint. That the second, each side intersect exactly two other sides at one each endpoint. So now we have defined polygon for you, so we have to go what you call regular polygon. So a polygon is equilateral if all sides are congruent, and a polygon is equiangular if all angles are equiangular. Equilateral means equal side, equiangular means equal angle. So in order to be classified as a regular polygon, so the polygon has to meet those two following conditions. It has to be equilateral, that means congruent side, and it has to be equiangular, that means equal angle. An example of regular polygon will be a square. A square has four right angles, meaning that four congruent angles, and it has four congruent sides. A square will meet that definition. Another polygon that will meet that definition is what we call an equilateral triangle or equiangular triangle. So if a triangle is equilateral, it is equiangular. If a triangle is equiangular, then it is equilateral. So those are the two polygons that I'm aware of that meet that definition. Any other polygon, they have to tell you it's a regular polygon. So if they tell you it's a regular polygon, meaning that it has congruent side and it has congruent angle. It has to meet both definitions. It has to be equilateral and equiangular at the same time. If it's equilateral, not equiangular, it does not satisfy that condition. For example, a rhombus is equilateral, but a rhombus is not equiangular. So a rhombus does not classify as a regular polygon. Another example, a square. A square is a perfect example of a regular polygon because it has four right angles and four congruent sides. Therefore, a square is qualified as a regular polygon. For example, a rectangle has four right angles. A rectangle is equiangular but not equilateral. Therefore, a rectangle does not meet the criteria to be a regular polygon. So be aware of that. So those are definitions of regular polygon. Quadrilateral. Remember that a quadrilateral is classified as a four-sided polygon. So the sum of the interior angle of a quadrilateral is 360. Some of the measures of the interior angle in a quad is 360. So it doesn't matter if it's a square, a trapezoid, isosceles trapezoid, square, rectangle, parallelogram, rhombus, diamond. So all of those measures will be added up to 360. Be aware of that. So polygon angle interior theorem. So that for any polygon such that to find the sum of the interior angle, it will be 180 times n minus 2, where n is the number of sides. To find the measure of the interior angle of any polygon is 180 open parentheses times n minus 2 close parentheses, where n is the number of sides, meaning that they will have to give you the name of the polygon. Example, they tell you it's a pentagon. Penta means 5. So n is 5, you will have 180 times, open parenthesis, 5 minus 2 close parenthesis. 5 minus 2 is 3. 3 times 180 is 540. For the sum of all of the 5 angles combined in a pentagon is 540. You already know the sum of the interior of triangle is 180. The sum of the interior angle of a quad is 360. For a pentagon is 540. For hexagon it will be 620. So how it will be 720? How will you get that? That will be, hexagon means 6. It has 6 sides and is 6. You will take 180 times, open parenthesis, 6 minus 2 close parenthesis. That will give you 6 minus 2 is 4. So that will be 4 times 180. It will give you 720. So heptagon, you will do the same thing. 7 minus 2, that will be 5. 5 times 140. That will give you 900 degrees. So those are the things that you need to be aware of for polygon. So you either you know the number of sides or you know it by its name. So now we have done how to find the sum of the measure of interior angle of a polygon. Now to find the measure of each interior angle in a regular polygon, this is different. So you will find the sum of the interior angle, then you will divide by the number of n, which is number of sides. That will give you the average of each angle, because each angle will be exactly the same. So for a regular polygon, to find the measure of each interior angle in a regular polygon, it's 180 times n minus 2 and divided by n, where n is the number of sides. That will give you the measure of each interior angle. The interior angle will be exactly the same. So exterior angle theorem, polygon exterior angle theorem. So the sum of the interior angle of any polygon is 360. So it doesn't matter how many sides it has. So the sum of the interior angle will always, the sum of the exterior angle will always equal to 260. All of the exterior angle combined will equal to 260. So take 260 divided by n. That will give you the measure of each interior angle in a regular polygon. So since regular polygon, the exterior angle will be the same, 360 divided by n, that will give you the measure of each interior angle in a regular polygon. If your polygon is regular, the way to find the measure of each exterior angle, the interior angle and the exterior angle are linear pair. They are supplementary. If you know the interior, you should be able to find the exterior. If you know the exterior, you should be able to find the interior. Because if you extended the exterior angle and the interior angle, they will be supplementary. That will be linear pair. So those are the key concepts we are going to cover in this lesson. So remember that a polygon has two definitions to be met. So a polygon is formed by 3 or more sides, 3 or more segments called side, such that no two sides with a common endpoint are collinear. The second one, each side intersects exactly two other sides at each endpoint. So remember that a polygon is equilateral if all sides are congruent. A polygon is equiangular if all angles are congruent. So a regular polygon is defined as equilateral and equiangular, meaning that a regular polygon has to have equal side and equal angle, congruent side and congruent angle. An example of regular polygons are square. A square has 4 right angles and 4 congruent sides. A equilateral triangle has 3 congruent sides. If it has 2 congruent sides, it will have 3 congruent angles. It will be equiangular also, where each angle will be 60-60. So an equilateral triangle is also a regular polygon. Any other polygon, they have to tell you that it's a regular polygon. For instance, a rhombus is not a regular polygon. However, a rhombus is equilateral. For example, a rectangle is equiangular, but a rectangle is not equilateral. Therefore, it does not meet the definition of regular polygon. So in irregular polygon, to find the sum of the measure of each interior angle, find the sum of the measure of the interior angle, use 180 open parenthesis n minus 2, that will give you this sum, and divide by n, then that will give you the measure of each interior angle. Since each interior angle will be congruent, remember that n is the number of sides, so they can give you the name. By the name you will know how many sides the polygon has. So in irregular polygon, to find the measure of the sum of the exterior angle of any polygon is 360. In irregular polygon, to find the measure of each interior angle in a n-gon polygon, take 360 divided by n, that will give you the measure of each interior angle. So that is the application that we have. Then we're going to do some application. Good morning. You said this is back in another application, how to find the measure of each interior angle in irregular polygon. So in order to find the measure of each interior angle in irregular polygon, that will be use the formula that 180 open parenthesis n minus 2. Alright, that will give you the sum. Since you need the measure of each angle, you will have to divide by n. So that will give you the measure of each interior angle in irregular polygon. In this case, we have a hexagon. In this case, we know that hexagon has 6 sides. Then we can find the measure of interior angle. Then we will place n here. We will have 180. Since n is 6, we will have n says 6 for n. Subtract it by 2, and you divide by n. In this case, n is 6. So we substitute n in this case. So when you will end up with 180, 6 minus 2 is 4. You will have 4 times 180, and you divide it by 6. So this can be simplified. You can ask yourself how many times that 6 goes to 180. That will give you 30 times. 30 times 4 is 120. So the measure of each angle in a regular hexagon is 120. Each angle will be 120 degrees. Okay, that's the measure of each angle. And it's kind of cool on a regular polygon where all of the angles are the same. Each angle will be 120. Now, since I know the measure of the interior angle, I can extend one side to find the exterior angle. So the exterior angle and the interior angle have to be linear pair. Those angles are linear pair, they will form 180. So I can subtract 180 from the interior angle. That will give me the angle will be 60. That's one way to find that. Now, since I know the interior angle, I can find the exterior angle. Or the other way I can say that is 360 divided by n. In this case, n is 6. That will also give me the exterior angle. So if how many times there's 6 goes to 36 is 6 times. So the exterior angle will be 60 degrees. So that's how you know. So since it has 6 sides, 6 times 6 is 360. So if you know the interior angle, you can find the exterior angle. So to find the exterior angle in a regular polygon, exterior angle in a regular polygon since the sum of the exterior angle is 360, you will take 360 divided by n, which is the number of sides that will give you the exterior angle in a regular polygon. So we're done with this problem. So that's what we will do for those problems. We're going to find the measure of each interior angle. While we're in there, we will find the exterior angle. So in this case, if we extend this, I can find the exterior angle here, which is x. So to find the exterior angle, I know it's a regular polygon because the sides are congruent and the angle are congruent. And I can identify this as a pentagon. It's a pentagon. In this case, n is equal to 5. I can find the exterior angle easily. So this sum of the 5 angles combined this will be x, this will be x also. Alright, if you extended that, that is x. So in this case we have 5 exterior angle. You will have 5x is equal to 360, and divide by 5, that will give you what x is. That will give you about 72 degrees. The exterior angle is 72. So if you don't know, you can say x is equal to 360 over n. In this case, n is 5. You'll get the same answer. Then that's how we write 72 degrees. That's one way to find the exterior angle. The other way, I can come and find the interior angle. If I did not know how to find the exterior angle directly, I can find the interior angle. Since I know the interior and the exterior angle has to be supplementary, linear pair, I can subtract whatever I find from 180, I will find the exterior angle. In this case, the formula said to find the measure of each interior angle in a regular polygon is 180 times n minus 2 over n. In this case, n is 5, it's a pentagon, n is 5, I will have 180 times 5 minus 2 over 5. So I will have 180 times 3 divided by 5. So 3 times 180 is 540. If I take 540 divided by 5, 5 goes to 5, 1, and bring 4, that will give you 0. 5 goes to 40 8 times. This interior angle is 108 degrees. This angle is 108 degrees. Now the other way to find the exterior angle, since those two angles are supplementary, I can have x plus 108 is equal to 180. Right? Now to find the exterior angle, I will have to subtract 108 from each side. In this case, you will have x is equal to 72 degrees. Either way, this is the most effective way of doing that, because you're doing it direct. To doing the direct, you have to know the formulas. That the sum of the exterior angle is 360. Since it's a regular polygon, each angles are the same. In this case, you divide 360 by n, that will give you the exterior angle in a regular polygon. Alright? So that's you do those problems when you're dealing with it. We are continuing our lesson in solving some of the interior angle of a polygon and regular polygon. So you have a word problem where it says that what is the sum of the measures of the interior angle of a decagon? Decagon, that means n is 10. So n is 10. We are looking for some of the measures. So I will use the formula that 180 times n minus 2, that will give me the sum. And this is n is 10, I will have 180 times, open parenthesis, 10 minus 2. So 180 times 8, I will have 180 times 8, that will give me the sum of the interior angle. So 8 times 0 is 0, 8 times 8 is 64, carry 6, 8 times 1 is 8, plus 6 is 14. Sum of the interior angle of that regular decagon will be 1440 degrees for all of the 10 angles combined. Alright, since it's a regular decagon, in the second question asking you the measure of each interior angle. Since I already know the sum, so I only have to divide by n, which is 10. So the formula will be 180 times n minus 2 over n. Since we already compute that, so that will be 180 times 10 minus 2, that will be 180 times 8. You will end up with 1440 and divided by 10. In this case, each interior angle will be 144 degrees. Alright. Now the last question asking you what is the sum of all of the exterior angle in that regular decagon. That will be 360. So the sum of the all exterior angle in a polygon is 360. So you're done with that problem. So that will be 360. So if you were to find the interior angle is 144. To find the exterior angle, you will have to subtract 144 from 180. The exterior angle will have been 36 degrees, since the interior and the exterior has to be supplementary. So if you add 36 to 144, that will give you 180. The other way we could have found the exterior angle is 360 divided by 10. 360 divided by 10, that will give you also 36 for each exterior angle. So let's move on the other problem, which is my new problem. They said that a polygon has an interior angle sum of 30, 60 degrees, and how many sides must the polygon have? So in order to find this sum, use this formula 180 times n minus 2. In this case, they give you this sum, then you let it equal to this sum, which is 30, 60. So this is the backward problem. They give you this sum, but in this case, you have to work backward to find n. So the formula is 180 times n minus 2 is equal to 360. So some of you do distributive property, that will give you 180 n minus 360. But in this case, I will rather divide both sides by 180. 180 will cancel by that, divide this by 180. Then this goes to 10. Then you will have n minus 2. You ask yourself how many times there's 18 goes to 30, that will be 1 time. 1 time 18 is 18. 18 taken with 30 is 12. And when 6, how many times there's 18 goes to 26, about 7 times. 7 times 8 is 56, carry 5, 7 times 1 is 7 plus 5 is 12. So that will be 17 times. So in order to solve for n, add 2 on this side. In this case, the polygon has 19 sides. So you will have to find, then we find n, then we're done. Alright. The other question, you have a quadrilateral and they asking you to find the measure of each angle. So this is easy. You know that the quadrilateral n is 4, and if you did not know the sum of the interior angle of a quad is 360 anyway. So let's verify that. That will be 180 times 4 minus 2. 180 times 2 is 360. So this sum verifying that. So I know that angle is x, then I will have x plus angle B, 4x, plus angle C, 3x, plus angle D, 2x is equal to 360. Alright, now I have to combine like that. 4x plus x is 5x, plus 3x is 8x, plus 2x is 10x. So I will have 10x is equal to 360. In this case, I can find x by dividing by 10. In this case, x is 36 degrees. So measure of angle is 36 degrees. Measure of angle B is 36 times 4, which is 144. Measure of angle B is 4 times 36. That will give 144 degrees. And measure of angle C is 3 times 36. 3 times 36 is 108. That will be 108. And measure of angle D is 2 times 36, which is 72 degrees. Then you're done. Alright, we are continuing with our lesson. Based on that drawing, they are asking to find angle H. That has to do with exterior angle theorem. So the exterior angle theorem stated that this angle should be equal to the sum of the two remote interior angles. The two remote interior angle is angle H and angle J. So that will be angle H, which is 6x minus 1, plus angle J, 5x plus 16. That's your equation. Then the sum of this angle is equal to that, or the other way, since I could have worked it backwards. So let's solve that. I'll show you how many chances you have to solve this problem. So the exterior angle HGF is equal to the sum of H plus G. So we combine like term, you will have 125 equal 11x, 5x plus 6x, 11x, minus 1 plus 16 is 15, is equal to 125. Subtract 15 from this side. Then you will have 11x is equal to 110. Right? Divide by 11. In this case, x is 10 degrees. Many of you will start jumping that you find the answer. You're not done. The question that was asked was used to find angle H. So angle H, the expression is angle H is 6x minus 1. Therefore, measure of angle H will be equal to 6 times 10. 6 times 10 minus 1. 6 times 10 is 60. 60 minus 1 is 59. Angle H is 59 degrees. So that's one way you could have solved the problem. The other way you could have solved the same problem to find x. This angle is linear paired to that angle. If this is 125, this has to be 55. 55 degrees. In this case, you have the triangle in the triangle. So the other way, you can use the triangle sum theorem. Add those two interior angles, which is 6x minus 1 plus 5x plus 16 plus 55 is equal to 180. This will give you the same outcome. So you will end up with 11x. That will be 15 plus 55 is 70. We'll have 11x plus 70 is equal to 180. So in this case, you subtract 70 from this side. Then you'll have 11x is equal to 110 and divide by 11. In this case, x is 10 degrees. So you have two options to find x. It depends how you say it. Alright. Next question, they're asking you to find question mark. Alright, question mark is same thing as a variable. So it could have been a variable expression. So they decided to let it question mark. So I know the exterior angle should be equal to the sum of the two remote exterior angle. This angle here, those two angles must be equal to that. So 2x plus 3x, this should be equivalent to 5x. That one aspect of that. So whatever x is, you're going to substitute in that. Question mark should be equal to 5x based on the exterior angle theorem. So since I know the triangle inside, I can sum it up, let it equal to 180. I will try the triangle sum theorem. In this case, I will have 2x plus 3x plus 3x plus 4 is equal to 180. So So that's my equation. Right now I can go solve for it. I will have 2x plus 3x, 5x plus 3x, that's 8x, plus 4 is equal to 180. In this case, I can subtract 4 from each side. And I will have 8x is equal to 176 divided by 8. I will ask myself how many times does 8 goes to 17. 2 times 8 is 16. 16 equals 17 is 1. So now this 6. Now I'll have 16 divided by 8 is 2 times. And this is x is 22 degrees. Some of you are going to start jumping around. You're not done. So I can come here to 2 times 22. This angle will be 44 degrees. Right? This angle will be 3 times 22 is 66 degrees. So 5x will equal to that 44 plus 66. That will be 110. So question mark will be 110 degrees. If you don't believe that, so we can come here, take 5 times 22. 5 times 22. 5 times 2 is 10, carry 1. 5 times 2 is 10, plus 1 is 11. So give 110 degrees. Question mark is 110 degrees. That's one way of finding question mark. Alright, the other way, question mark plus 3x plus 4 is equal to 180 because they are linear pair. Those two angles are linear pair. They make up straight angles, linear pair supplementary. So you will have question mark plus 3 times 22 plus 4 is equal to 180. You will have question mark, right? 3 times 2, 22 is 66, plus 4 is equal to 180. Then I will have question mark, plus 66 plus 4 is 70, is equal to 180. Subtract 70 from inside. Then question mark is 110. Either way you get the same answer. So it was a pleasure to work with you on special regular polygon. So remember that regular polygon are polygon that are equiangular and equilateral. Equiangular, that's mean equal angle. Equilateral, that's mean equal side. To find the sum of the interior angle in a polygon, use the formula 180 times n minus 2, where n is the number of sides that will give you the sum. The alternative with the polygon is irregular. To find the measure of each interior angle, you take 180 times n minus 2 divided by n. Remember, n is the number of sides. This will give you the measure of each interior angle. Now, we recall that if you know an interior angle, you should know the exterior angle. The interior and the exterior are supplementary. They form linear pair. They will always add up to 180. And lastly, to find the measure of its exterior angle in a regular polygon, since the sum of the exterior angle is always equal to 360, you take 360 divided by n, and that will give you the measure of its interior angle. That was Mr. D. Once again, go do your math, study, so you can make the grade. Stop blaming Mr. D. Go and subscribe and like, share it. Have a nice day. Wake up.